morning from the Alp mountains.
Today we feel like we won't do much of a distance. Probably, maybe we'll get only to the next village of Contamines that we didn't get to yesterday, and just rest there. There are some campings, I think 1 or 2. Maybe we'll check them out.
We will probably do that.
It was quite cold today. We are wearing all the warm clothes on us. I was really cold, I don't know, maybe because of the humidity. Yesterday's storm and lots of rain, and we're now like all humid around us.
I didn't feel very cold at first, but then early in the morning then I was cold. After yesterday extreme downhill in bad weather conditions, we feel very achy all the body.
The shoulders, the back are very sore. Because all we see, all the trail would be like that, so every day would be uphill, like very steep probably, and then downhill, uphill and downhill, so it will be always like that, very mountainous. Yeah. It's very challenging, I think, and I think it's the first big hike for us that is so demanding physically.
Now we'll check in all our electronic equipment, because it's all a bit wet, and we are worried about working properly.
Because we didn't have time tomorrow to cover everything in plastic bags, and just we're worried about ourselves getting covered from this storm. Now we'll have our breakfast, wrap up at the tent, and go on the trail. Today we are having our couscous cereal with mushrooms, tomatoes, and some dried bread that is a bit wet from heating up. And we heated it up from the yesterday's night.
This is so wet, extremely wet.
And there is a snail. Found his home.
Yeah.
If the weather will be fine, they can dry up on us, but it's so bad to walk in wet shoes. It's already 9 a.m. and we're still getting ready for the day, wrapping everything up, getting kind of late and lazy. We notice that whenever we come late to the camp spot, it is always like that. We don't have time to proper rest and, only to sleep. And it's very important to have some time just to rest, to lay down, to stretch, and to have at least good 10-12 hours of rest after a hike. But yesterday we had only around 8 hours of rest, and we came to the camp spot at the dusk already. And then the next day is always you are feeling fallen apart and very, very tired. So yeah, that is about the importance of resting properly that we didn't have yesterday. Also, I somewhere lost my hairbrush, my tangled teaser brush may fell out somewhere yesterday because I was so disconcentrated. So now I have to search for another one, apparently. We were wrapping up our tent and found my hairbrush under the tent. How did it get there? Oh my. Well, it is back. 1 kilometer of the steep uphill can be a very challenging task in the morning when you are already feeling very sore from yesterday's and kind of dizzy as well.
This is a award in the end, made just for us.
The clouds are just like covering the mountains and going in a thin line, like in a wave. I don't know if you can see it. It's really beautiful.
We think we overestimated our powers with this trail because we're looking at the map at the stages that people were proposing, and it was around 15 kilometers a day, and we thought like, well, it's not much.
Yeah, it's not that bad, but we completely forgot about the mountainous relief, you know, the mountains and the uphills and downhills and how difficult it can be, because back in Pyrenees for us some of these elevations would be like climbing the peak already and 1 or 2 day hike only, and here it's the long trail and goes all the way the same way. Because we remember our experience with the Camino de Santiago, where we also were seeing the stages of 35 to 40 kilometers, and for us we found the golden mean was 15 to 20 as a max. And so here we see the same situation repeating, like 15 kilometers, so we'll do 7 or 8 probably. It will be like the perfect distance for us.
Maybe we are carrying too much weight in our backpacks, but it's all necessary things.
Yeah, and we can't throw anything away really. So we're working very hard, downsizing our backpacks before this hike, getting ready for it. So this is what we have now.
So we think we'll do our own stages, less kilometers a day.
Exactly, so we'll follow our own physical state, and we'll do, if it says 15, 20 kilometers, we'll do 10, less than 10, because yesterday we did 11 and we're absolutely dead. Of course there was bad weather and a storm, but still we were feeling so bad, and today we can't do even 10, you know. So it's better to take it slow in our case, so we think we'll do it in more days, but in better state. So we'll stick with that. We see so many wooden houses and refugee houses, albergs, spread all around these mountains and valleys, which can seem that it's not easy accessible places, but there are still people and, you know, like restaurants and stuff like that. So this is pretty unusual to us. We thought it would be like more wild places, but that's fine.
It's really hard to say when we meet other hikers if they're doing Tour du Mont Blanc or just a day hike.
But it seems to us when we're seeing their backpacks, they're not too big, that they're just doing a day or two hike, or maybe a weekend hike, you know. And yeah, probably most of the people are not staying in the tent and staying in the refugee houses instead. So not a lot of people like us. We can see that the times are not matching, because up there we've seen like the sign to Contamines, the village we are going to right now. The time was less than now, so, and we did already the part of the way. So this is not accurate, unfortunately.
The weather is so fresh and cool right now, after the rain.
It's a bit slippery to walk on the tree roots, but for the rest in rocks, it feels nice. heading to the village Contamines right now to resupply some food, like chocolate, some cookies, maybe some fresh fruit. Because we're lacking of that, we don't have any of that. For the snack we have only nuts left, and we really need the vitamins and the power for such a hard trail as it is. So really hope that the supermarkets will be open on the Sundays afternoon, which happens so rarely, but there are so many people, so we hope it can be open. Everything seems to be closed, unfortunately, from 12:30 till 3 p.m. Yeah, this one as well. Siesta time, what we can do. Had a good nap just in the garden, the church garden, and went shopping, bought like lots of food. You can see this bag, orange bag, is like mythical already. And we plan to go check out the camping. The prices are good. We'll stay there and eat most of these supplies, some of them, so to gain more powers. And if not, we'll go and search for another camping spot as always, while camping in the ski trails. This is the plan. There is like a big area of playgrounds and tennis and golf, so I think that camping can be quite luxurious and expensive, but we'll check it out. So we actually checked in the camping. It wasn't expensive at all. It was like 16 euros for 2 person. And you can choose from all of this huge space, whatever beach you like. That was unexpected. We expected it to be very expensive, as everything in here. But it's quite nice actually. So now we're going to take a shower, wash our clothes, wash the hair. Because after that we probably won't encounter any camping whatsoever, so we'll have to go only wild camping and in dirt and sweat. So now we have to make sure we have everything clean and we're clean, and we're good to go for the next couple of days. Now by testing our solar battery, it's charging quite well these days. Well, when it's completely cloudy it's not charging at all, but on the sunny days like that it's working just fine. And we have full charged power bank. It's incredible. Now we don't have to worry about electricity at all and charging all of our gear. And even here in the camping there are no plug-ins really. And before we were very dependent on the plug-ins and we were searching always for a place where it was close, and right now it doesn't matter for us, so just perfect. Just having little pleasures, enjoying it, of having the shower and being clean. You need so little actually. We are having the feast today, so large meal. We are going to eat it all. No, I'm just joking. This is for 2 times, as we said. We are doing this technique right now when we're eating the leftovers in the morning. It saves our time. So we have different rice, different types of rice, mushrooms. We bought the fresh mushrooms today, so very nice. Some cherry tomatoes and our favorite cheese. Let's eat. So hungry now. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you really enjoyed it, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more hiking and adventure videos. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook to stay in touch, and visit our website walkingnatureworld.com for the detailed hike reports with pictures and maps. Hope you are having a beautiful day, and we'll see you on our next video. Bye!